The power of realness. As the campaign gained traction, Jamal's brand started to see the results. Their booth at the pop-up was filled with people who wanted to be a part of the change. Real people, not just celebrities, were standing in line to buy products, not because they wanted to show off, but because they believed in the story. Luxor's Edge was still the shiny, high-status brand, but Jamal's team had built something more powerful. They had created a community of people who believed in authenticity, purpose, and real change. Jamal stood in front of the booth one evening, watching as the crowd gathered around. He had done it. They had done it. They had proven that the soul of luxury could rise above superficial status and prestige. The future beckons. While Jamal and his team celebrated their success, they knew the competition wasn't over. Luxor's Edge wasn't done yet, but Jamal now understood something important. Their brand was built on more than just the products. It was built on the power of the story, the impact they had on the world. In the battle for the luxury market, they had found their voice, and with it, they knew they could keep rising regardless of the competition. The ultimate alliance. The unexpected visitor. As Jamal sat in his office one chilly morning, going over the latest numbers from the True Luxury campaign, a knock on the door interrupted his focus. It was Rico. "Jamal, you won't believe who's here," Rico said, his voice tinged with disbelief. Jamal glanced up, confused. "Who?" "David Lancaster," Rico said, leaning in slightly, as if the name itself carried weight. "The CEO of Luxor's Edge." Jamal's heart skipped a beat. David Lancaster, the visionary behind the multi-billion-dollar luxury empire. The man who had transformed Luxor's Edge into the gold standard of high-end fashion. Jamal had heard of him, followed his work from a distance, but to have him standing in his office? It felt like a dream. "Wait, what is he doing here?" Jamal asked, standing up from his desk, his mind racing. "He wants to meet with you," Rico replied, leading the way. The meeting begins. When Jamal entered the conference room, he found David Lancaster sitting at the head of the table, a calm but commanding presence. David's sharp suit, pristine appearance, and confident smile made him look every bit the billionaire that he was. "Jamal," David greeted with a smooth voice, standing to shake his hand. "I've been following your brand, and I must say, I'm impressed. The True Luxury campaign, the focus on real people. You've captured something that's been missing from this industry for a long time." Jamal blinked, slightly taken aback. "Thank you, Mr. Lancaster. I didn't expect to hear that from you." David smiled. "You've done something I haven't seen before. You've created an authentic narrative in a space that thrives on status and image. That's something I respect, and something that I want to be a part of." Jamal's mind raced. What was happening? David Lancaster, the CEO of Luxor's Edge, the competition was here, praising him? It didn't make sense. "Mr. Lancaster," Jamal said cautiously, "I appreciate the compliment, but I don't quite understand. Are you here to discuss business, the proposition?" David leaned back in his chair, the intensity of the conversation settling in. "You see, Jamal, the luxury market is changing. The old ways, the glamour, the over-the-top celebrity endorsements, it's starting to lose its appeal. People want realness now. They want brands that stand for something. True luxury, as you call it." David paused, his gaze steady. "But here's the thing. Luxor's Edge has everything. The fame, the stars, the resources. But we need what you have. We need your authenticity, your ability to reach the people who believe in purpose over prestige." Jamal could hardly believe what he was hearing. Was David Lancaster, the face of one of the most successful luxury brands in the world, proposing an alliance? "Are you suggesting that we work together?" Jamal asked, his voice low in disbelief. David nodded slowly. Yes, I'm offering you a partnership, Jamal. Together, we can merge the best of both worlds. The power of luxury with the soul of impact. Your brand's message with our reach. We can create something revolutionary. The offer. The proposal was bold. Luxor's Edge had everything Jamal's brand lacked. Global reach, Hollywood connections, endless resources. But in exchange for that, Jamal would need to give up the very thing that had made his brand unique, its independence. I'm not asking for ownership, David continued. I'm asking for collaboration. You keep the soul of your brand, but we'll provide the platform to take it to the world. Imagine what we could do with your stories, our influence, and the right resources to amplify it. Jamal sat back, his mind racing. This was everything he had dreamed of, being able to take his message of true luxury to a global stage. But it also felt like a risk. Would merging with Luxor's Edge compromise his vision? Would he lose control over the very thing that made his brand feel so real? The decisio. David Lancaster could see the hesitation in Jamal's eyes. He wasn't going to make this decision lightly. I understand it's a big decision, David said. But think of the impact. With our resources, you can reach millions. Expand into new markets. Help more people. You can take this message further than you ever could on your own. Jamal was silent for a moment, weighing the pros and cons. The thought of partnering with Luxor's Edge was enticing. The exposure, the growth potential. But Jamal's gut told him that if he wasn't careful, he could lose the very authenticity that made his brand stand out in the first place. Finally, he spoke. I'll think about it. David nodded, standing up. Of course. Take your time, Jamal, but know that this opportunity won't be on the table forever. The internal struggle. That night, Jamal couldn't sleep. His mind was a whirlwind of thoughts. On the one hand, the offer was a dream come true. It would give him the opportunity to expand, to scale his message of true luxury to a level he never thought possible. He could be part of a movement that reshaped the luxury market. On the other hand, was he willing to compromise his vision for the sake of growth? What would his audience think? Would they see him as a sellout, joining forces with the very brand that he had been competing with? A late-night conversation. Unable to shake the dilemma, Jamal called Rico, his trusted friend and business partner, in the middle of the night. Rico, Jamal said, his voice filled with uncertainty. I need your advice. David Lancaster wants to partner with us. He's offering everything. Resources, global exposure, access to markets we can't even dream of. But I'm torn. I built this brand to stand for something real, and I'm scared of losing that. Rico was silent for a moment. Jamal, you're right to be cautious. But think about it. This isn't just about you anymore. You've built something people believe in. If you team up with Luxor's Edge, you can take that message to the whole world. The world needs more people like you. People who understand that luxury is not just a price tag. It's about the value we create for others. The decision is made. After hours of contemplation, Jamal made his decision. He knew the risks, but he also understood the potential. He wasn't just joining Luxor's Edge for the sake of growth. He was joining forces to amplify his message, to spread the truth that real luxury was about impact, purpose, and authenticity. The next morning, he called David Lancaster. I'm in, Jamal said, his voice clear and confident. Let's do this. The new chapter. The partnership between Jamal and Luxor's Edge was officially announced the next week, and the world was watching. Jamal's brand would now be part of a global movement, with Luxor's Edge providing the platform to reach a new level of influence. But this was only the beginning. Jamal knew that with David Lancaster's resources and his team's vision, they could create something even bigger. They were about to change the luxury market forever. Together, they would prove that luxury was not about status. It was about the impact you had on the world.